So it's another reading vlog. Hi, hello, besties. What is up? My name is Meg. Welcome back to my channel. I am determined to get through Stephen King's backlist. So far, we have read Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining, and now we are on to, I've heard, arguably one of his best books, which is The Stand. Now, this book is chunky. I have a few things that I need to get done, so through Spotify, I've downloaded the audiobook. I need to dye my eyebrows, which you guys will get to see because sometimes my eyebrows are really light, like right now. Y'all get the experience of dyeing my eyebrows with me. My eyebrows are indeed very blonde, whereas I'm a dark brunette. Make it make sense? I can't. Anyways, and then lastly, I also have a pin board that I keep all of my bookish pins in there, and lately we have quite a few more pins that I have to add. Let's go dye our eyebrows. Okay, so I know I look a little scary. Now I have to wait 20 minutes for the eyebrow dye to dry, and then we wipe it off with water. We're gonna go do the pins in the other room. I don't know where I was at in the audiobook, but I found at least a part of where I was in the audiobook. So we are only into chapter 2. So this is going to be a long, wild ride of reading The Stand. In the introduction, there is a man that has escaped his workplace, I believe, and he's like, hey, yo, wife, kiddo, we gotta go, let's go. Later on in chapter, I believe it was chapter 1, that we find them, and both of them are dead. He's coughing and everything. Like, it's bad. We have now been introduced to Fran, and then her boyfriend, who I believe is Jess. So we're at the part where she has just told him that she is pregnant, and he doesn't have anything to say. Okay, something that I think I really dislike about Stephen King's writing is that we're introduced to so many characters all at once in the very beginning of the book. Sitting here, I feel like I need a graph of some kind. I don't know. We are on chapter 6. I'm trying really hard to be able to get the characters right and like understand the relationships between characters and everything along those lines. I'm getting just a tad bit frustrated though. Okay, so we made it to chapter 10. So we're 84 pages of the way through the book. This is a chunky book, bro. This is kind of intimidating. The best word I have is intimidating, that this book is very intimidating by its size. Plus the font is very, very small. As of right now in the book, essentially everybody is slowly and steadily starting to get this super flu that even though the body creates these antibodies to help attack the virus that's there, the virus will mutate itself and change. So by the time that the antibodies are made in the body, it's still just too late. out. Right now, it's being spread from the small towns. Kind of reminds me of COVID, honestly. But it's just the smallest form of contact, and then it spreads. It just spreads like crazy. And I'm meeting so many different characters right now. I'm trying my hardest to keep them all straight. It says within a few weeks. So I bet we're gonna be going through at least a few weeks worth of like people interacting, people thinking that they have more time than they really do, not knowing that they have this super flu. It's a whole big thing. So far, I'm just a tad bit bored, but I think that's because nothing really too intense has happened yet. And I can say for certain from some of the other books that I have read by Stephen King is that that's kind of how his books go, is that they start off very slow and then they work their way up. So we've officially made it to chapter 16, page 117. We're that far of the way through the book. We have 1,035 pages left of the book to go. This is going to take me a couple days to finish. I've been putting this book off for so long, and I think it's because it's been so chunky and I've just been so afraid. What do I think of it so far? Like I said, it's still building up to the fact of everybody is going to just flat out die soon. And so it's still a little slow, but you're learning to become involved in certain characters' lives and their aspects, and they have no idea that this impending doom is coming for them. And it's just a little crazy in my opinion. Am I enjoying this book? Right now, I am enjoying this book. I love Stephen King's writing. I love his prose. I love his descriptions. I love everything about his writing. I think it's great. I'm gonna keep reading and yeah. I made it to chapter 19, so we're that far of the way through the book. It's not like the best start, but things are slowly and surely like finally starting to pick up, so we're happy about that. I'm loving one of our perspectives. His name is Nick. He's a deaf mute. He's very gracious on what he does. I'm very excited. Things are slowly and surely picking up. Like, more and more people are starting to die. More and more people are starting to get suspicious because they are finding that they are closing the roads into towns when they know that there's a big outbreak of this virus that they have. And more people are dying. Like, apparently the virus picks up, then it backs off, makes them think that they're getting better, then it picks up again, and then they ultimately die. Like, there's a couple more steps, but then they ultimately die. And as of right now, I think there's only one person that they know of that has not contracted the virus, and for why, they don't know. Good morning. Happy next day. I woke up this morning with a really bad migraine. My mom seems to think that it may be a caffeine headache. I don't think so. Anyways, that's how far we are through The Stand. I have a feeling that this book is going to take a couple of days to finish because I'm trying to make sure that I fully understand and comprehend the book, and the text is so freaking small, so I'm not reading it as fast as I normally would with the text being so small. We do have a nugget here. We do have a nugs. Okay, so we have just been introduced to supposed Dark Man, who is the lover of chaos that we learn about in the back of the book. So far, I'm liking this book a lot. With Stephen King books, that I have noticed is that he loves to character dump. He loves to do that. And trying to keep all of these different characters straight in your head is very difficult, but I'm slowly getting there. My only thing is, are all of these characters that I'm being introduced to and learning their like life story or the people that they care about, are they going to be a part of the population that survive? Or are they just going to be another tragic means to an end at the very end when the 99% of the population die out? Yeah, we don't know. Do we know yet? We don't know. But so far, I'm having a blast. I'm having fun with this book. This is categorized as horror, but it really doesn't feel like horror. It just feels like another thriller. So we are that far of the way through the book. We are on page 231. We officially made it to chapter 27. There became an ultimate all-out war. Like, some radical groups started going at it with these people. The military started disposing of people who were going against what the United States was saying that it was just a big strain of the influenza and that like there'll be a vaccine and everything. Like, this reminds me so much of COVID-19, but just to a more extreme. When was this book published? 42, almost 50 years in advance of COVID-19 happening. That is mind-boggling right now. Like, that is crazy that Stephen King came up with this idea of a plague coming through, killing a lot of people. Granted, COVID-19 wasn't like the biggest of things, but just that something very similar happened. For all we know, like, had COVID-19 really been a lot bigger than what it was, that our reality could have been exactly like this. That's what I'm finding almost mind-boggling. I'm liking this book a lot. I know that I had said that it was slow. It's really starting to pick up the pace a little bit. We've been introduced to, like I said, Randall Flagg, the dark man who delights in the chaos and violence, but we've only really been introduced to him once. And in his chapter, it says that he can feel something is coming for them. And that's something that, like, you don't usually think of, because you don't usually think, oh, I feel this thing coming upon me. Like, no. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it, not gonna lie. Oh, finally we're going back to one of the characters that I was actually really interested in. I'm still trying to figure out, like, if all these characters that we were introduced to that are like main characters of their chapters, like, are they going to be part of the ones who survive? Like, how is this going to go about winning? Because it's of the world's population. Like, it's not just of the United States. Like, no, it's the world. Like, how is this going to go about it? And I am really excited to see. We still got quite a bit left, but we have 923 pages left of the book to go. I'm not pushing through like I normally would if it wasn't a book that I was interested in. Like, no, this book is definitely something I'm interested in. However, like I said, it's just a chunky book. This is chunky. My guy, literally, I just want to binge read it. The story is just so gripping. It holds your attention. It makes you want to know more. I'm enjoying this book so much. I'm just wondering how some of these things are going to come into play. I'm wondering how certain characters are going to lean, as far as if they're going to go with the Mother Abigail, who we still have yet to meet. We still have yet to meet Mother Abigail. I can see a couple characters leaning more towards Randall Flagg, but then I can see more characters leaning towards Mother Abigail. So as far as like how they're going to determine like who wins ultimately in the end, that's what I'm curious about. I don't know why I was putting this book off for so long, and I think it was literally just because it was chunky. We are now that far into Stephen King's The Stand. I'm now starting to see different characters as they begin to portray different sides of the coin, whether it's the bad that want the chaos and everything like that, or the ones that want the good, the peace, everything like that. So you're starting to see as these characters develop and lose their loved ones, how they are going about wanting to live on in this life. And a lot of them are starting to choose the chaos or the peace. I found out how Randall Flagg became Randall Flagg, as well as there is a guy that is known as the Trash Can Man. Like, that is his nickname. That's his nickname. And he goes and he loves to set fires. So he is an arsonist. And he's just choosing chaos. He just exploded a whole town. And then he's looking and he's like, well, here's another big city. And think of all of those gas stations. Oh, here's another big city. Think of all those gas stations. And so now he's on like this really big high of, I want to set as many fires as possible and just see everything burn. I think he and Randall Flagg are going to soon meet. I'm enjoying this book. I feel like we're constantly being introduced to new characters who are surviving this plague of the super flu. We have 853 pages left for us to go of The Stand. I want to take my time. I really want to absorb everything with this. And yeah, so we made it to chapter 35. We're maybe a fourth of the way through the book. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, hi y'all. So it's the next day, of course. We are going to continue on with The Stand. Looks like Dad's gonna weed whack. Oh, I thank you. So let's get to reading. Alright friends, we are officially 784 pages left of the book to go. I want to say that we're about a third of the way through The Stand. We finally have gotten to the point where people are starting to desert their homes. They're wanting to go and find other people. And our main bad guy right now, Randall Flagg, has just been introduced to another man who was in jail. And I think that this is where the start of the armies begin, because I can just feel that this is the start of said two groups of people and trying to figure things out. When he was talking to our friend in jail as his right-hand man, the shift that the character had was from originally from starvation to a different kind of hunger, he said. So I can only assume that like he craved the chaos and everything that was going to ensue from whatever Randall Flagg was going to provide him. He also at one point in time in the chapter had said that he no longer looked at Randall Flagg from terror, but looked at him from a form of love. He also really recognized that this Randall Flagg guy was almost like the devil, and being chosen by him, he felt so honored. Am I going to just down this strawberry assy lemonade? Yes, I absolutely am. All right, here it goes. We are officially, I want to say, a third of the way through. Yesterday, we made it to book 2, chapter 43. I'm liking the book a lot. I am starting to see how some characters may be taking to a certain direction rather than others. I really don't know what's going to happen. If I'm honest, I have no clue at all what's going to happen in this book. I'm a tad nervous for that. Okay, so we're getting a lot more action. We're now that far into the book. We're getting so close to being halfway. Anyways, our main characters are slowly but surely starting to find other characters who are alive. And it seemed like at one point in time, a lot of the characters were going to find places to settle, but in the end, they're slowly but surely finding ways to find other people. They're trying to find company in other people who have survived the super flu. I know I said it was slow. Honestly, pushing through this book has been so difficult, but I'm now at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm fully locked in. I'm fully ready. Like, let's do whatever it's possible to get this book finished. So we have relocated. My copy of The Stand was actually starting to rip down here at the bottom, so we actually had to put like packing tape to protect it. But anyways, let's get right into reading. Okay, so obviously the sun has changed. We are getting very close to being halfway. We are finally getting the perspective of Mother Abigail and how she is prepping for all of these people to come to Nebraska to be with her rather than the supposed dark man. From what it sounds like is that this is very much a battle between like light and dark and good and evil, God and the devil, because they talk about the dark man as though he is essentially like Satan's spawn. Instead of using like desires in the way that sin would normally be used, it's being used as dreams. So you're being persuaded by the dark man's nightmares that are wanting you to come to his side, and then you also have dreams of Mother Abigail to have you come to her and to seek refuge there, that the dark man won't be able to get you kind of deal. Right now, Mother Abigail is prepping for all of these people. She knows of one of them who is probably, honestly, my favorite character. She knows that he's on his way and that she wants to have a talk with him. She honestly can't wait to have a conversation with him. Everything is slowly falling into place in this book, but I'm enjoying this book. I take it all back that the slow burn in order to get to where we are is definitely worth it, but now it's really starting to pick up pace and I honestly cannot wait. I'm super excited to see what else is in store for this book. Okay, so we are now officially halfway. There's like a crush that one of our characters has on one of the girls in his group, and he just read into her diary and everything, and he, I guess, started his own journal, and I don't know what that's supposed to come out of. Things are really starting to pick up. We haven't caught on too much as of late what has been going on with the group that Mother Abigail is a part of. I'm unsure of what's to be expected. There are still a lot of dreams going on of Randall Flagg, however, nobody knows his identity as Randall Flagg yet. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. As we know right now that there is about 20 people so far with Mother Abigail. Okay, so we came inside same day. Anyways, we're that far of the way through the book. We just got a sneak peek at Randall Flagg and how he brought in a guy from the outside named the Trash Can Man. Now the Trash Can Man finally gets to meet Randall Flagg, and Randall Flagg had something great for him to do. Now we are on to chapter 49, and there are 524 pages left of this book to go. I would like to know a little bit more about Randall Flagg. We've read a little bit of The Stand this morning. We're now that far of the way through the book. We have officially 468 pages left of the book to go. So literally at this point, it's like your average size book. Literally at this point, it's your average size book. Like, we have finally made it past the halfway point. I'm bewildered right now. Lots is going on. More and more people are joining both the Dark Man, Randall Flagg, and a lot of people are joining Mother Abigail. Now, within these two societies, I guess you could call them, there is chaos in Randall Flagg's community. However, there is still an order. However, it just so happens to be that he is the one who is judge, jury, and executioner type deal. He just has other people going about doing it for him. Like, he is self-proclaimed literally tyrant. Literal tyrant is Randall Flagg. Mother Abigail is trying to create almost like what it seems like a democracy. She's letting these people create a committee of people, and I think there's like 6 or 8 people on this said committee, and then Mother Abigail has like a veto. So whatever, in the end, like if there was a tie or a toss-up, Mother Abigail has the ultimate say, and whatever she says goes. Mother Abigail really just wants peace. She just wants to spend the rest of her life just relaxing. However, she feels as though she is being called to this from God, whereas she feels that Randall Flagg is literally sin incarnate. And I'm getting the sense that there's going to be a betrayal, possibly even 2 betrayals within Mother Abigail's society. I'm not going to say any more than that, but I feel like there's going to be a betrayal of some kind. And it's really not that shocking that that's how it's gonna go. Does that make sense? This book is so filled with so much emotion, so much chaos. There's such goodwill in it. There's one character who wants to be a good guy, but he is constantly told that he's a taker, that he's selfish, that he has nothing to really offer anybody. And yet when he's traveling, he finds people, and as he's collecting these people like Pokemon, they're just following his leadership. And he essentially came to Mother Abigail's, finds a girl named Franny, and sits her down and tells her his story. And then he says, there was never a vote. I was just expected to lead. He goes, and I was not expecting to lead. It just is very heartwarming to see his character evolve from someone who was a partier, who never really took accountability, and was so selfish, so much thought of himself over anybody else. And he's leading all of these people, and he's getting these relationships with these people, and he's able to uphold them. Just his character growth in general is just so great. I freaking love it. However, we had a good character at one point. I want to say he had his heart broken, and he has now decided that he wants to live his life full of pride and hate. And this is where his betrayal is going to come in, because I've seen his character development go from like the tippy top and has slowly been plummeting down. And it's actually really fascinating how Stephen King writes this character, because all the while his true nature of his character is coming out. He's hiding behind a facade that he's having a hard time upholding. Like, some people are getting suspicious. Mother Abigail is suspicious. Mother Abigail thinks he is not trustworthy, which, I mean, she should, because I think he's one of the people who are gonna betray her in the end. He's also making his first companion very uncomfortable. What is interesting is that it does talk a little bit about the shine, which is something that was definitely talked about in The Shining. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that video down in the description and you can go watch it. And I think I explained it. It's been a while, but I think I explained what the shine was back when I read The Shining. I've never been so antsy to read this book than I am right now, because things are really getting good. Things are really picking up. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but earlier in the book, there was a dog, and they left the dog behind. Bro, the dog found the way back! The dog found the way back! Literally every time something includes a dog, I can't help but love the book more just because I love the dog. I will be completely 100% honest. The first time I watched John Wick and the dog died at the very first 5 minutes of the movie, I cried for like 45 minutes to an hour of the movie. I didn't stop crying till the movie was basically done. Like, so the fact that the dog found the way back? That was literally my update for you, was just the dog came back. Hey, it's fine. We're fine. I'm thriving off the fact that the dog came back. We have 402 pages left of the book to go. We are 345 pages away from finishing The Stand. Dude, did I ever think I would get here? Probably not. Where I'm at in the book, the betrayal has been set into motion. It has been, so that being said, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know how this book is gonna go down. All I know is that I'm really starting to enjoy his writing. The only thing that I would say I'm having a hard time understanding is his talk of how life was about 30-ish years ago. I really should be paying attention to the dates. What he means when he talks about how the 1990s were, I don't fully understand nor comprehend, because I was born in the 2000s. I was born in 2001, so we're that far of the way through the book. Dude, it's getting good. Remember how I said it was slow? Yeah, it's getting good. I'm enjoying it so much. I honestly can't wait to see what else is in store for this book. The most freaky shit happened. Literally, like, the freakiest shit just happened, and I don't know what to make of it. Like I really don't. Like, not gonna lie, like, that part kinda, I don't want to say it scared me, because nothing about this book, granted it's a horror book, but I don't feel scared or nothing. However, I just felt a little unsettled by what was said. Just by what was said made me a little unsettled. Like, I don't know how to take that, but it was just very unsettling. Very, very unsettling. Like, if I were put into that position that one of the main characters was, well, they're all kind of main characters. I don't know how many main characters there are. I don't know who's considered a main character, and I don't know who's considered a side character. I just see a list, a giant list of characters that happen to play major roles. So I guess they could be considered main characters. I don't know. I'm so confused. But anyways, 3 of our characters went to go see this other character. And when the 3 of them were talking to this one character, if I were in the point of view of the 3 main characters talking to this one character, I would have been unsettled. Does that make sense? In the most unobvious way of trying to keep the book spoiler free, does that make sense? I feel like that might or might not make sense. I don't know. But right now, this book has me on the edge of my seat. I want to know. Remember how I said it was boring? No. Really good. Really good. I'm enjoying this book so much right now. Honestly, I'm devouring this book at this point. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, it's getting really good. I don't know how else to go about this, but the betrayal is about to happen. Like, it's been set in motion now. Like, we already thought it was going in motion, like now it's really in motion. We still have a decent chunk of the book left to go. We have a little bit over 200. We have 273 pages left for us to go. This honestly is like a masterpiece. Genuinely. I am all the emotions. I don't know what's going on. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And it kind of bothers me that I don't know what's going to happen, but like, get it. I'm officially upset. I'm officially upset. I want to throw this book across the room. I'm furious. Furious. Oh my gosh. Okay. Probably my absolute favorite character. Yeah. He just got offed. Just offed. I'm furious. Like, I literally want to cry because I loved that character so much. Like, why? Why would you? What? I knew it was gonna happen too. I feel like his character arc, like he was too perfect of a character. There was nothing more that could have happened with him. I don't know, I really liked that character. I don't even think you gauge how mad I am right now. Stephen King, why did you have to do that? That's just rude. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? That doesn't seem fair. Okay, y'all, so we just made it to book 3. We have 221 pages left for us to go. I feel like this is somewhat of like a pipe dream. Is that what it's called? A pipe dream? I take back everything that I said about this book. I wish that I picked this book up earlier. I was avoiding it hard. I've had this book, I think, since like February, and when I'm filming this, it is May. I can't believe that we are almost to the end. We have so much to read. Y'all, we're that far into the book. We have 152 pages left for us to go. I have officially hit the 1,000 page mark. Bro, actually this will indeed be the second longest book that I've read, but things are happening. The Dark Man may not be all-knowing as what he claims he is. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but there is moments in time where you do get Randall Flagg's perspective where he does indeed have fear, and he talks about that he is fearful, and he explains how there's certain things that he can see clearly, but then other things where his way of knowing just is brushed over, and like almost like a dark cloth is hidden before he can be able to see what else is beyond. I'm so excited to see what he can put into the last 152 pages that make this book great. Don't know how it's going to end. So the predictability part of the book is a 0 out of 5. Like, I cannot predict anything that is going to happen. I don't know. Y'all, we are officially 100 pages away from finishing The Stand. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens. Honestly, I don't know how or what is going to happen in the last 100 pages. I just don't. I don't know. Y'all, we have 50 pages left of The Stand to go. We're almost there. We're almost there. I'm upset once again. Stephen King has upset me once again. I don't know if I can ever forgive him for this. Honestly, truly, deeply. Can I ever forgive him for this? This has been one wild ride, but yet one that I am so glad that I finally jumped the bullet and took the ride. I have had so much fun. I'm gonna finish this book and then tell you my final thoughts. All right. We just finished The Stand by Stephen King, and I don't know why I put this book off for so long. Honestly, I kind of regret that I did. I think that I'm going to give this book 5 stars, which this means that this is my 3rd 5-star read of 2026. I loved the depth of every character. I loved the adventure. I loved the politics behind things, especially as like everything fell apart and how a society had to come together under people. Trust me, the betrayals got me. Even bigger betrayals got me. So many things happened in this book. I can't believe that there was ever a cut edition. I'm wondering what the cut edition had cut in order to make it so that way we now had the uncut version. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I gave this book 5 stars. This is probably, honestly, my favorite Stephen King book thus far. I can't wait to see what other things Stephen King has in his universe. I can officially check off The Stand from my little backlist, which is great. I'm so super excited. I highly recommend you read this. I know it's chunky, I know it's big, but please, you gotta read it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It's just so good. It's not scary, I promise you. I had such a great time. It valued friendship, it valued love, it valued the light and the dark, it valued the good and the evil and everything like that. It just everything about it. Also, the love the dog had in this book was tremendous. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video as I read Stephen King's The Stand. Do all of the YouTube things you know how to do, and I will see you in a bit. Bye!